to the fact that I made it quite clear that nearly 3 weeks ago, the England coach Steve McNamara made it quite clear. He said that this Exiles games, the two, would not be a trial. It would be for him to select the best team to prepare for the end of the season games, the tri-series then, and then of course go on to the World Cup in 2013. Well, there's so many people pulled out from it that we are left with no other alternative than to say it is a trial. But having said that, you have to look at the fact that so many debutants, you get into the situation of two halfback, Matty Smith and Danny Brough, and this fella James Roby, well, he will give his all. They all will. We understand that. There's nothing better than to pull on your national jumper. And I think we're going to see some exciting rugby league because, as you mentioned, Eddie, we have got the weather for it. The ground is in perfect conditions. Let's get it underway.
Here to that. Ben Thaler is the match referee. He is ever present in this series. He took charge of game one and he takes charge of game two. And the band and the choir will make their way to the other end of the ground, the fantastic media stand end, and then we will be underway. Thaler blows the whistle. Here we go. Danny Brough's first touch of International Rugby League for England anyway, is a kick-off high into the night air, and this is the big prop forward Epelhami Luaki of the Wigan Warriors, who takes the first tackle of the match.
Well, you usually find in the opening gamut in regards to your defence, if you get on a couple of big hits, really does lift the spirits. It'll also lift the crowd as well.
That's a good solid run from Anthony Lafranchi, the St Helens Australian, 31 years of age. Here's Luaki again. The one thing you can say about the Exiles on a night like this, there'll be plenty of passion, there will be plenty of camaraderie on show. And there was Scott Giroux, who fed the ball wide to Daniel Holsworth, and here's 38-year-old Steve Menzies. Daniel Holsworth, the Exiles coach, watching with the sunglasses, Daniel Anderson with the sunglasses on. High kick from Giroux, and underneath it Stefan Ratchford. Took that awkwardly, but still took it quite well.
Yeah, you probably lost it slightly when because he was looking into the sun's. You could see that the sun is streaming down, the shadows are out there on the park. You've got
Jamie Jones Buchanan now, the loose forward tonight, he's lost that ball. So it's play on because it's in the arms of Epelhami Luaki. That'll be the zero tackle. Not the best start for Jamie Jones.
Just a little bit of jitters showing there. That's a good run as well. Soliola. I reckon going to see some real quality rugby league tonight.
Heath Lestrange to Scott Giroux. Back it comes to Brett Hodgson. Through the fingertips. Knock on that far side. You've catched them, Steve-O.
Yep.
Right away.
It's amazing, isn't it? Daryl Millard having the opportunity. Interesting to see some real matchups in this particular game. Can't wait to see the two halfbacks, Matty Smith, Danny Brough. They'll have nerves, but we saw, didn't we, in the first game, Scott Giroux was outstanding. He'll be the linchpin for the Exiles.
Well, Steve-O, we've just seen a mistake from the left edge of the Exiles, but I'm really excited, really looking forward to watching the right edge of England. Leroy Cudjoe, Josh Charnley, and we've got Danny Brough locked in on that right side. Some real pace, scorching pace, in fact.
As we said in the build-up, all change for both coaches tonight. England making 11 changes from the first game, 8 changes in personnel, the others in terms of position. But the Exiles certainly look up for this. Steve McNamara, he is the national coach and has been since June 2010. Played 12, won 6, lost 5, just the one draw. And here is Danny Brough. On home soil, of course, Brough. The kick straight to a man who used to be on home soil here at Huddersfield once upon a time, Brett Hodgson. The Warrington fullback hasn't played for the last couple of weeks, but playing here and leading the Exiles into battle tonight. This is Francis Melly, plays the ball to Giroux. Good work from the dummy half by Daryl Millard, the Fijian. A try on in the Exiles' first game at St Helens on his debut. 3 minutes gone, 0-0. Heath Lestrange, the Bradford Bulls man, will be delighted to be playing here tonight, getting away from all the pressure, and the ball is felled out to Joel Monaghan, gets it into Holsworth, ball comes infield to Menzies, on it goes to Giroux. Menzies obviously thought he didn't have all the pace, but the Exiles have the first try with Brett Hodgson. It was a wonderful move down this right-hand side, and Holdsworth actually had the opportunity to do a complete 360-degree turn and still wait for the approaching Exiles players, and eventually it arrived in the arms of the skipper, Brett Hodgson. He was full-back at England last year. Here's the first try.
Great work. Holdsworth there, long ball, cut them out, back on the inside. Good support play. You could see that the England defence all over the place. Crabtree can't even get back in by the time that Brett Hodgson has got through. Complete difference in support play here. Caught the winger, came back on the inside, can't afford to do that. Menzies unselfish, and then Scott Durow. The twinkle toes, he spin around, he did the waltz. It was too much for England, and the skipper has got them off to a flyer. But what about that support play?
6 times he played State of Origin for New South Wales, but no international caps for Australia.
Time's up.
At Hodgson with the try, he hasn't played more than 4 in a row for Warrington all year. And, well, he's just got the Exiles off to a flyer here. And I must say, in the opening exchanges, they've looked the better side.
Certainly have, Eddie, and you could see straight away that Daniel Holdsworth, we knew he was going to have some sort of impact, but that was incredible. Beautiful long ball, but he knew how to position himself back on the inside. Surely this is an easy 2 points for this fella.
And it is, and the Exiles have the lead here by 6 points to 0, and all the points scored by Warrington Wolves' Brett Hodgson.
Well, you've got to give a lot of credit to Daniel Holdsworth, because his pass selection to pick out his winger in Joel Monaghan, he looked up and he saw that Tom Briscoe were coming just a touch too much, and that was where the gap was. But also Scott Durow, he just holds that ball up, and the players are playing confidently. And what they've got to do, they've got to play with a lot of energy. And this Exile side have got absolutely nothing to lose against an England side that probably people are saying to them that they're under pressure from the early kickoff in this game, but they've still got the players out there to cause this Exile side some problems.
The Exiles ahead by 6 points to 0 against an England side that shows many changes from the first game at St Helens, and there are some of the big names that are not out there, including Sam Tompkins, Kevin Sinfield, Danny Tickle. Ryan Hall was there as well, the Leeds Rhinos winger, either not selected or rested, or they are injured.
But isn't it about opportunities though, Eddie? You want to see some youngsters making their way in the game. You've got Scott Taylor, you've got Liam Farrell on the bench, but the players that have been talked about at half-back positions most of the year with their respective teams are Matty Smith and Danny Brough, and now they've got the opportunity to shine on the big stage.
And they have to defend this kick here from Scott Durow that is very deep, well claimed by Ratchford behind his own line, defusing the bomb. It'll be a restart on the 20 and taken quickly by the skipper, who looks for support. It's Briscoe.
Good play, quick thinking. That'll please Steve McNamara, who wouldn't have been too impressed with the positioning play of Tom Briscoe that led up to the Hodgson try. But nice to see that they are alert. That's the one thing that we need. Good, quick play the ball.
Solid hit coming in.
Some spare seats, but I mean amongst the players. It only takes a big shot or a big run, something similar to Tom Briscoe's run there, to generate that atmosphere, generate that passion, and you get on the back of that. International Rugby League, maybe it's about building pressure. Big Earl Crabtree on one of those charges. Danny Brough puts a kick in there, and that should have prompted some of the players. Let's get in and let's tighten the tonic here.
Carvel gets the ball away to Brough again, as John Keir told us in the pre-match build-up. Danny denied over the past 18 months or so, but now he's very much here, as is Stephen Ratchford, who steps through a couple of challenges. Important tackle it was by Soliola. This is the last one for England. It's with Matty Smith, who drifts the ball over the top into the open space, and the ball finds its way over the dead ball line.
Well, it gives some indication, isn't it, that the 2 attacks that we've seen so far from England has resulted with the 2 kicks good. They have to change it. You'd think that early in this game you'd want to get the 2 half-backs, Matty Smith, Danny Brough, getting some sort of connection out wide in the 3 quarters.
And I do think you can make the statement in your defence, put some physical effort in, try and stamp your authority on the game. I'm looking at the forwards, I'm looking at Big Earl and Gaz Carvel. Put a shot on, let them know you're here.
4. That's the 4th tackle for the Exiles here. They're midway inside the England half of the field with Scott Giroud, changes the direction of the attack, gets it away to Soliola again. Here's the last tackle for England. Heath Lestrange, back it comes to Scott Giroud. He'll put the boot to the ball, looking for the aerial power of Monaghan out there. Finds him. That's a great ball. Oh, and that's good defence, actually. Steve Menzies was on his way to the corner, and it was Atkins and Ratchford, the Warrington combination, that forced him out of the field of play. Good defence on show for England.
Great kick by Scott Giroud, and he knew it, the big fella, Joel Monaghan. You just got the feeling that Steve Menzies, he thought it was try time, but Ratchford did very, very well indeed. He came as a second push.
Tom Briscoe's got to do a better job than that, though. He can't just let his opposite go up for the ball and then pat it back inside. If his fellow professionals weren't there, that would have been a try.
Well, Joel Monaghan is one of the best in the air, isn't he, at collecting those balls up in the air, and you can't tackle them mid-air.
But you can contest for the ball, though, can't you? You can jump and challenge him.
Yeah, I get the feeling, Eddie, that this England outfit, they're very, very nervous. You know, there's been a lot of pressure on them, and that's a knock-on, but it has not been seen.
It's losing a bit of momentum, though, England, with that, the ball going to ground. Wilkin trying to get it away. The ball was played at, so it's another set of 6 here for England. As the Exiles go hunting the ball, Briscoe has it. Will turn round. He was under pressure from Joel Moon, who gets the tackle in on Atkins. Atkins just flings the ball into no man's land. Ratchford picks it up. It goes without the ball, though.
That's back
and the
to
referee
6.
wipes the tackle count down again. Once again, it's Ratchford taking them on. 11 minutes of the match gone. Exiles ahead 6-0. England starting to warm up, getting on the front foot a bit here with Carvel, getting it away to Wilkin, who finds Crabtree, the local hero. And Crabtree will take it forward, bouncing out of challenges, dumps the ball down. Here is Matty Smith. And Smith taking them on, but goes down under the challenge. Heath Lestrange is there. So too was Anthony Lafranchi.
Much better from England. Got to keep it going.
Brough steps out of the challenge once, almost burrows underneath 3 of them twice. That's the 4th tackle gone. England have had repeat sets here. Look where they are, just 10 metres away from the line with Jamie Jones-Buchanan, with Earl Crabtree. That's the last for England. 7 metres shy of the line, looking for the runners. The runner was Matty Smith. The ball dropped onto the boot. Very well picked up, though, by Joel Moon.
Unbelievable take there. He was virtually sprinting on the angle. The kick was very, very difficult. He kept hold of that. Unbelief. Plenty of punch, plenty of power, under a lot of pressure there by Ryan Atkins.
But that's a good set, Steve. Or 2 real charges there. Big Earl Crabtree and Danny Brough giving a big left palm to one of the Exiles defenders. That's the sort of thing that some of the England players can feed off, and there's an error. That's the sort of stuff.
What has been
Soliola's pass came out forward, says Ben Thaler.
It's going to give him a lot of praise, because the Exiles loose forward, Soliola, who really has been the go-to man so far in this game, working overtime.
Last year's match against the Exiles provided England with a sterner test than they wanted ahead of the Four Nations tournament. Previously, England had faced France. They won 60 points to 6 against the French 2010, 66-12 2009, 56-8 2008. You know, no matter what the England personnel is on duty in these matches, this is a much better test for England at this level. Here is Roby, building for the future. England looking towards the World Cup, looking to win the end of season's tournament involving Wales, France and themselves. That's Brough, and Ratchford, well, he got a hand to it, knocked the ball forward. So the referee will not put the scrum down. He's called it the 0 tackle here.
Just overran it slightly, but that was promising. Steve McNamara, the England coach, we've been quite happy with that, the combination and the link. We haven't seen so far. Matty Smith, Danny Brough, they got through it, and you can see the fullback just went a little bit too early.
Well, the 6 and 7 had done their job, Anthony Steve-O, in Matty Smith and Danny Brough, where they'd gone to the line, they'd fixed the defenders, but it was just that last pass, the execution of that, because they did have the overlap on that right side.
Looks cool, calm and collected, the England coach. Knows his men have got some work to do here against Manu, and now against Daryl Millard, and here's Manu again. They're flinging the ball about with great aplomb, aren't they? It's a knock-on here. It was good tackling back by Leroy Cudjoe.
It had to be as well, because Manu had made the break, And the support play back on the inside, they were shouting to him, get the kick away. He tried to, and he's got taken down by the centre.
Reminds me that of Terry O'Connor in his prime.
Well, he's not naughty for his kicking, is he, Willie Manu? I don't know what he was dropping that onto, but it wasn't his fault.
Great work from Cudjoe. Again, great scramble, great urgency.
Yeah, Leroy making his first appearance for England in 2 years. The girl takes it forward again. He's forced his way back into the international scene, as El Crabtree, with some great performances this year for Huddersfield. James Roby, of course, almost ever present on the international scene. But there's the big fellow.
And he's a big unit, and you've got to utilise him as well. And you can see that when he gets the ball, this is good out wide.
Chances here with Charnley, Super League's leading try scorer. Covered up, though, and well watched all the way down that right-hand side. Melly in there, also Millard. Now then, what can England do here with Jamie Jones-Buchanan driving it up the middle? That's the last one for England. The kick coming in from Matty Smith, no. From Danny Brough, maybe, no. They're all wrapped up. That's poor from England.
Yeah, it is, and he'll be irritated, Steve McNamara. They've got a very good kicking game out there on the field of play, both in Smith and Brough. And to be caught, the man that should have been kicking, to be defended against like that will not please their coach.
Well, you just see Danny Brough, a big puff of the cheeks, a big sigh. He knows he didn't quite get that right. It was a glorious pass to free Leroy Cudjoe. Threw it across the face of a fellow England attacking player, releasing Charnley. Half chance for England.
Back here, Matt. Wait, go.
But all wrapped up on the last tackle, couldn't get the kick away. Here is Holdsworth, looking very dangerous. The Salford City Reds standoff. He's opposing his Salford colleague Matty Smith here tonight, of course.
That's 5.
Normally that's the 6 and 7 combination for the City Reds that produced the goods certainly for them last Friday against Warrington. And the kick from Holdsworth finds touch on this near side.
Yeah, playing the percentage, isn't he? He really is a talented player, and he knew exactly what to do, and that was the difference between, remember, England got caught on the last tackle. On this occasion, Holdsworth can punch it through, and now the England squad, have they got to pack down 10 metres away from their own line, so you'll be feeling that the Exiles will be hunting the mistake, the error.
It's very difficult, it's very hard. We're judging Danny Brough and Matty Smith. They've had 16 minutes together. They're trying to forge a partnership, get some kind of relationship. It might take hours and hours of training on the training pitch, a good few games before we see the full fruits of that partnership.
Charnley trying to work the ball away from the base of that scrum. Don't forget we have Super League coming up for you on Friday. Leeds will take on Hull FC, 7:30 Sky Sports, 1 HD for that. They have plenty of representatives here, as do Warrington and the Catalan Dragons, but they can wait till Monday when they'll be again on Sky Sports 1 and will be in Glorious Sky 3D as well, 7:30 Friday and Monday nights for the Super League. Here it's the international. It's England against the Exiles. The Exiles leading 6-0. Catching England a bit cold, I felt, but England getting back into the swing of things a bit. And Brough was impeding the prop forward Luaki there. Luaki tried to get at the man on the floor, couldn't do so. Looked at the referee, no penalty forthcoming. Might actually have come against Luaki. And Brough with a kick, and that's far too deep. Not the best from Danny.
For one moment there, I thought he was going to go for the drop goal. It appeared that way. Either way, he's not impressed. It's very, very difficult. And look, we've got some experienced internationals in the commentary box here. Is that when you make the situation and you know you're making your debut, it's very difficult for you to say, do I go 100 miles an hour or do I just slowly get myself into the game?
You've got to go at 1,000 miles an hour. I think that's the only way that you can get into an international match. Otherwise, there's as much quality on the bench. I think Lee Mossop getting warmed up. Looks like they'll make a change in that front row as well. So they've got to go for it right from the start of the whistle.
Great break here from Monaghan. Support from Holdsworth. Holdsworth through one tackle. Good scrambling back again by England. But he gets over the line. Momentum takes him there. But England force him up, hold him up on his back. And they will bring it back to the 10-metre line and continue the tackle count. Good defence from England, but a scintillating attack from this Exile side.
Certainly is, and they're coming down this right-hand attack, aren't they? They call it in all sorts of problems.
Wonderful defence from Briscoe there. Here is Luaki again. Luaki is tackled.
Release! Stefan, goal line!
10 metres away from the line, the Exiles on the last tackle with Duro, stabs the ball straight into the breadbasket of Stefan Ratchford, who returned the ball with interest.
Could be disappointed, Scott Duro. He knows it as well, because Ratchford, well, I must say, he's putting himself about. He's probably the star so far of the England side. He's very nervous times, as we've already just mentioned. You know, I don't want to make mistakes, don't want to do an error, don't want to miss a tackle.
Steve-O, but do you know what it is though with international rugby? That you take your form in, and what gets you the right to play for your country is your form when you're playing club rugby. That's what it's all about. Take that form with you into the international. Some players will crumble, some players will grow, and that's a good kick from Matty Smith.
Yes, it is a good kick. It was just outside the 40-metre line, so it wasn't a 40-20, but it's an excellent pinpoint kick into the corner by Matty Smith.
And that's a positive, and that's what they needed.
He captained the England Knights, by the way, Steve-O, against the Irish at St Helens last month. He was bang on form and has been all year in Super League, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a talent. We realise that, and we've already seen this season that Danny Brough has been in top condition, top form. I don't think we'll see the England side sort of really gel until round about 5 minutes before the first half is finished, and we'll see a different character come out in the second half.
Wherever the optimist, Steve-O, you always have been.
Is that exactly that, Steve?
Yes, 5 minutes. Mark that down, everybody. 5 minutes from half-time. We will see England as Steve-O expects to see them.
Yep, and they'll probably score.
Have you got numbers for the lottery on the weekend for me, please, if that happens?
If that happens, I won't be working with you, that's for sure.
4 away! James.
Right, but we're all clubbing round now to give you £1 for the ticket for this week's draw.
You'll have more than £1, and more than £1.
Good hands,
good play
from the
again.
Exiles. Here's Menzies, gets it wide, and Joel Moon will attack them. Ball at the back again. Was pinched by Mossop, and it's back to 1. The referee saw that, hand in there by Mossop. It's the 0 tackle for the Exiles. Soliola to his feet, plays it to Heath Lestrange. Lestrange just showed and goed and went. Heath Lestrange of the Bradford Bulls. By the way, we have Brian Noble with us in the studio tonight, and with him here it would be remiss of us not to discuss the Bradford situation, and we'll do that, but only when this game is finished. News today that the Rugby Football League hope and believe that Bradford will fulfil their fixtures till the end of the season. Certainly the one at the weekend.
Great offload
there. The London Broncos. Here is Luaki again. No, it isn't. It's Soliola. Same hairstyle. There's Luaki. And Luaki having a go for the line. Twisting and turning.
Oh, nearly got it down.
So close.
It looked as though he was going to offload.
Duro slides the kick in. That's easy for Ratchford.
Great positional play by the fullback. That should have been a penalty. He was hanging on far too long was Joel Moon, got away with it.
Ryan Atkins away for England. Ryan Atkins away for England. 5 from nothing for England. One into the field to the other. Atkins, he doesn't get very interested in improving the angle for his goal kicker, because he could see Francis Melly coming across, and Atkins from one end of the field to the other gives England something to cheer about. And Atkins, well, it looks like he's blowing for tugs there after that long run. But that's what he's been doing all year for Warrington. That's why he's forced his way back into the international scene for the first time in 2 years. Left out in March, 19 tries in Super League, gets him back in contention, and here he scores his first try for England.
Well, it went close into the Exiles. Luaki looked as though he was plunging for it. And this is a great run. That is poor defence. Daniel Anderson will not be impressed with that. Atkins did the right thing. He knows how important it is to make sure that they get on the scoreboard. It was a great step, but you'd have to say that Steve Menzies left a huge hole. They should have had him. They had the numbers. He knew he was going to make it.
And it was an exhausting run. It's a warm night. It's a hot and humid night here in Huddersfield. And Atkins just recovering after that lung-bursting effort took him from one end of the field to the other. So Danny Brough finally getting the England cap at the third time of asking. He has played and scored in all 22 for the Giants so far, and he's played and scored for England now. It's 6 apiece.
Well, I think that's a brilliant individual effort, fabulous effort from Ryan Atkins. For the last 15 or 20 minutes, we've been asking for somebody to back themselves. Jumps out from dummy half, beautiful footwork, and this is out-and-out pace. El Scorchio from Ryan Atkins. That'll do.
El Scorchio, yeah, well, maybe El Scorchio could have gone a bit quicker and gone underneath the post. But it didn't matter. Danny Brough added the extras.
Do you know you've got to give a lot of credit to though Stefan Ratchford, because when he come back and picked that ball up, that was a very good kick from Scott Giroux, but good positioning from Ratchford, who pounces on that ball, gets down, plays it, and given Ryan Atkins that quick play the ball for him to go forward.
Interesting to see also as well that the Exiles only had one marker, and that was the 38-year-old Steve Menzies. And it was well spotted by Atkins to take full advantage of it, skip through.
Wilkin gets the ball away to his St Helens teammate James Roby.
That looked a touch high.
Well, it was also a St Helens tackler, Anthony Lafranchi. Here is Rob Burrow just on the field, the England substitute. Back it goes to Wilkin again. He'll straighten it up. Wilkin, who's had a lot of interviews to do this week as chairman of the League 13 Players Association regarding the situation at Bradford. They're doing their best to keep the players' interest at the foremost of everybody's mind.
And let's hope they succeed, but that's a neat little kick into the corner. It was interesting to see there that when James Roby got smacked across the chops, he made a little appeal to the official, Ben Thaler, said, surely you must have seen that.
England matters on the mind of the England captain tonight, though. League 13 and Bradford can be looked at again in the morning. So 26 minutes gone, 6-all. This fixture that was born last year worked wonders for England, of course. They beat New Zealand and Wales on the way to the Four Nations final. Sadly, once again, they came up short against the Aussies. But the preparation for the Four Nations was good. The preparation for the World Cup here continues. And 2013 is the year that England hope on home soil they can have a real crack at winning the World Cup this time.
And that's why it's important, Eddie, that some of these youngsters are given the opportunity to mix with some of the best players in Super League, but also to play against some of the best internationals that have come over here to earn a living.
Joel Moon is one of them. He's shown up so well in 2012. He's scrapped to the ground on that occasion by Scott Taylor, who's on his England debut, the 21-year-old from Hull KR. Here's Soliola. Oh, that's a mistake from Steve Menzies. A rare error from one of the greats of the game.
Well, I think Menzies thought that the ball was going to go behind him. He'd already taken the run and spinning around, not expecting it.
His selection, though, has crowned another remarkable year, hasn't it? You remember 1995 in the World Cup on this ground, 2 tries against Fiji.
Hold the line. Hold it.
That's Leroy Cudjoe will get to his feet and play the ball here to Rob Burrow. Been thrown on maybe to just add a little bit of spice from dummy half.
Well, that's the type of player he is, isn't he? He's been ever so successful. Very difficult man
That's
to put
charged down, and Danny Brough's after it. Danny Brough gets it with his feet, but he couldn't regain his composure. And it was the number 11, Willie Manu, who drops on it for the Exiles.
Well, it was in two minds there, wasn't he? Really should have dropped his body onto this. Had the opportunity. Possession is vital. He should have made sure.
Wait there, boys. Go.
Exiles then in possession here with Antonio Cafusi from the London Broncos. Another man taking a breather from a troubled season. Broncos at the foot of the table. That's a great ball. And here is Daniel Holdsworth, isn't it?
Yeah, he's causing all sorts of problems for them.
Joel Moon again. Crossfield kick, but that's straight to all the red jerseys. Charnley was one of them.
Well, Eddie, that's the second time for the Exiles. They haven't managed to get that last tackle option right. You remember Soliola passes the ball back into Steve Menzies the previous set of 6, and then Joel Moon. You see Daniel Anderson there We need to finish our sets better, lads. That's what he's asking for.
He's certainly involved in this, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He was supposed to be being really, really laid back throughout the course of this, but he's a winner, and he wants his Exiles team to give a good account of themselves. Will this ball trickle its way over the dead ball line?
No, it won't. And that's a good chase.
Well, this is what I want to see from an England side. A team that's willing to defend up the other end of the park and get up here. And Barry mentioned it before, bash somebody. When someone's got the ball and they're running at you, you can really jam here and try and force the error.
Rob Forward speaking there, Terry O'Connor.
I was never that quick leading the chase though, Eddie.
Yeah, but you're always first in for bashing people.
Only when someone else had hold of him.
Chance here for Millard to work the ball away for the Exiles. That's tackle number 4 though. They think there's something for them down this right side. Here is Menzies. The pass eventually gets to Lincoln Withers, and here is Scott Durow, and the Exiles go back in front. Wonderful try from the Exiles. It wasn't a breakaway try, it was a manufactured try. And they really are making hay while the sun has been shining down their right-hand side, the England left. Steve Menzies, he's made a few breaks there, got the pass away, knows he's not got the legs himself. And then with quick hands, the Exiles get it to Scott Durow. And on his second Exiles appearance, Durow, having scored a goal at Saints in game 1, gets his first try.
They should never ever be caught there on that short blind side, and the ease that the 38-year-old strolled through would have been extremely disappointing for Steve McNamara. They really have pinpointed Ryan Atkins and Tom Briscoe out on their left-hand side defence, but this is great support play again. Little doubt in my mind that Daniel Anderson, the Exiles coach, has said to his players, look, go out there and enjoy it. Just, you've got nothing to lose. Keep the ball alive, and we have witnessed 2 wonderful, wonderful tries.
And I think Brett Hodgson, from 10 metres out and bang in front of the sticks, is going to make it 12-6 to the Exiles here. But don't worry, Steve-O has said, England will come alive 5 minutes from half-time.
Can't wait. It's all right, you're laughing. I think Steve McNamara will be hoping that I'm spot on. He's got a problem down this left-hand defence. He's got to bring someone out, maybe to utilise the likes of John Wilkin. To change around with Ablett. Ablett's been out this side, maybe change him around.
Here comes the conversion from Hodgson, no problems there for him. And so the Exiles are ahead by 12 points to 6.
Well, the kick chase was good, and that's what we asked for. We wanted to see England defend that next set of 6, but the communication at marker just wasn't good enough. Matty Smith backing off, and then John Wilkin, he gets caught up. I think it's with Lincoln Withers, and Steve Menzies goes through a big gap. But the amount of push that this Exile side have got looks very good, and Daniel Anderson will be very pleased with the attitude in which they've turned up to play this evening.
So this very experienced Exile side leads this young England side by 12 points to 6. And they'll run the ball back at England with the big substitute Antonio Cafusi. Sub at St Helens also. Good hands again from the Exiles. That was smuggled out by Mika. Lincoln Withers out there to direct operations from dummy half. Here's Kylie Luluai, who was a sub against England last June at Headingley. He's come back into the fray here tonight. Durow's gone for a 40-20 here. Just doesn't quite get the bounce he was looking for. It turned left instead of right. But the great chase, though, and Ratchford nowhere to go. That might have been a bit high, to be fair, from Joel Moon, but the referee saw it the other way.
But Tom Briscoe's got to be better. He's just walking there. He's watching Ratchford pick that ball up and just says, do your best, mate. If he gets back, there's not 4 defenders facing Steve Ratchford.
Tom Briscoe, 13th cap. He missed his first game in an 11-game playing sequence over 2 years in the opening match at St Helens. Tom Briscoe. And now it's Ratchford. And he gets the ball away. That's good hands. Briscoe, though, it's a standing start. He's going nowhere. Spun to the ground. It was on the last tackle. Kick now is Ratchford's responsibility. Hits the ground, and Melly picks it up quite easily and then just lollops his way up to the England defenders, puts a little bit of pace in. Brough got to him, though, with Rob Burrow. Here now is Millard. Millard of the Catalan Dragons. Impressive for Fiji in that 2008 World Cup tournament, you may remember, down under.
Eddie, with England now, because they've got James Roby and Rob Burrow on at the minute, I'd like to see them play more in the middle of the park, more with speed. Similar to the way St Helens play, anticipating that quick play of the ball and just playing with your instincts. Just go forward, get me a quick play of the ball. There's a mistake now.
Forward pass.
It's pinged as a forward pass by Scott Giroux, who just had a very quizzical look at Ben Thaler.
It was close, wasn't it?
Well, he just gives that impression, Steve-O, doesn't he? Because he passes the ball and then goes behind it.
I think he's got it right.
Forward.
Yeah, but if he carries on running forward, it doesn't give the impression that it's forward. Eddie, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it didn't fool the man with the whistle, and he's the one that counts, Ben Thaler. Big night for him as well. He's been in good form.
And he enjoys every minute of his appointments, does Ben Thaler. Well, we're a minute away now from green light time, or Steve-O time. This is Cudjoe.
Don't get off the sofa and put the kettle on. This is where it will explode.
Well, they are in possession with Burrow, who finds Matty Smith, who couldn't find Roby. And that ball was dropped, or was it knocked out? It doesn't matter, it's play on.
Oh, he's not going to allow it.
Well, the referee, Soliola, says that ball was knocked out, and I think he has a case. But it's head and feet to England.
I think he's got that right. I think it's play on when the initial error is made. Soliola takes it forward.
Well, it's knocked out. He hasn't lost it as far as I'm concerned.
This was Taylor, and there's the knock on by Ratchford. He's got that the wrong way round, hasn't he? Ben Thaler.
I think he said to him it's loose carry. That's what he's done. He's penalised. Sorry, that's why he's given the scrum to England.
Move! Tony, get out!
Right, 5 minutes to half time. England and Steve-O expects. Charnley plays it quickly to Burrow.
Good defence, though. Good tackle by Luluai.
Burrow again will have a little scamper at them. Plenty of red jerseys coming up in support. Wilkin, the skipper, gets the ball away to Brough. Taking it out down the right-hand side, finds Leroy Cudjoe. Hang on, Cudjoe to Charnley! And Charnley goes inside of it, score for England! Dearie me. He got it spot on. He normally doesn't, but I tell you what, he's bowing to the crowd. Well done, that man. You know, Steve-O, here's a pen, here's a paper. I want 6 numbers now. 6 numbers for the lottery now.
Eddie, he's got to be right. The first time in 25 years he's got that.
I can't catch my breath. I nearly got on and tackled Josh Charnley then.
We said they would explode and take nothing away from them because they've been outplayed in regards to support play, but Danny Brough picked them out. Cudjoe through the dummy. He knows how to score a try, this fella. Not so sure that Brett Hodgson took the right option in regards to trying to take him ball and all. But neat pass, Matty Smith back in, Wilkin, he got it through. Brough, always plotting. Centre says, come for me. You can see Francis Melly, he got sucked in, nice step. Hodgson went too high, and boy, that man made me happy.
He did, he made the England supporters happy, he's made himself happy as well. Super League's top try scorer. On another programme, they used to talk about Chico time. We are now talking about Steve-O time.
Technically, it was 4 minutes. if we're gonna split hairs, it was 4 and a bit minutes.
Can Danny Brough add the extras here? No, he can't. Just pushed it the wrong side of the post. But Charnley for England. England 10, the Exiles 12.
Well, it's Danny Brough, that man there. Steve McNamara has brought him into the fold, knows that he's got that spark, knows that he's got individual brilliance, and what he does, he goes to his Huddersfield teammate Leroy Cudjoe, who draws the winger Francis Melly perfect, gives Josh Charnley an easier job, still has to be scored, but England score again.
So it's 2 tries apiece. It's the goal kicking of Brett Hodgson that separates the two sides. But to be fair, Hodgson's second kick was bang in front of the post. So Danny Brough's was way out on that right-hand touchline, of course. 2.5 minutes to go to the interval. England going to score again, Steve-O?
No.
3, release!
Do you know, he's just sat here with a smile on his face now, isn't he?
Oh, I tell you what, we've seen Cheshire Cats and we've seen people who are very smug. Nothing to compare to this.
Cheshire Cats and Dewsbury. We could put ... and have everybody fill it in.
Big kick down the middle.
And again, a good chase by England. That's good work.
Yes, Melly, well tackled by Leroy Cudjoe. Hodgson gets the ball out to Millard again. 2 minutes to the half-time siren. Players will be glad of the relief as well to get into the air-conditioned dressing rooms here at the Galfarm Stadium, because it's a muggy night.
Yeah, it's humid, isn't it? And even after the first 10 minutes, you can see quite a lot of the forwards. And remember the long break by Ryan Atkins. He was running out of steam.
Here come the Exiles again, though, down their right-hand channel. Oh, and he goes inside. Ryan Atkins, Steve Menzies. Giroud is there again, and Giroud puts the brakes on. Ratchford throws into the ground, and he's pinched the ball of Stefan Ratchford.
Tremendous play. Scott Giroud's furious, and he's every right to be, because he should have held on to that football. Well, they bombed a try, but...
Oh, knock on there, though, by the number 17, Scott Taylor. And so the Exiles will have another crack at this England line.
Just lost control of it, yeah. Big hit by Mika. This good work by Stefan Ratchford.
Well, he's been the star of the first half for me, Stefan Ratchford. Great piece of understanding, knows that Scott Giroud's got that ball, knows it's a one-on-one tackle, and just pitches the washing off the line of the Exiles side.
A minute away from a unique first half, because at the moment we haven't had a single penalty in this match. Now I'll pose the question, what does that tell you? Are they clean as a whistle, or is there a slight lack of intensity? It's a fine line. Lincoln Withers wants to get on with it quickly, finds Giroud. And Giroud gives it to Holdsworth, who in turn gives it to Hodgson. It comes wide to Monaghan. He's in for the Exiles. The England side has an awful problem on this left-hand touchline. And Monaghan and Menzies and Moon, they are making hay. And that increases the Exiles' lead at half-time. A definite problem for Steve McNamara on his left edge defence. That was poor from England. We have to be honest.
Yeah, and it came about an error there by Scott Taylor. With only seconds remaining, you really want to keep possession. Good dummy running coming through. Got him to a good position. And I'm afraid, poor defence. As Eddie has already mentioned, we've been chirping on about it, is the fact that this left-hand defensive set is insufficient, and they are making hay. I mean, when you look at so many times that the 38-year-old Steve Menzies is floating and gliding through as though he was a 19-year-old centre.
Joel Monaghan, his last test for Australia was a World Cup final defeat against New Zealand in Brisbane in 2008. He has scored the try in almost deathly silence at the Galfarm, it must be said, and Brett Hodgson is about to try and add the extras. I must say it's been an entertaining enough game, but there's a lack of something. I'm not sure what it is. Is it?
It's called defence.
Well, yes, I understand that, but is there a lack of biff and barge?
Eddie, you were right before. Intensity.
Hodgson to drift it over the top of the bar. No, off the post. That saves England. It goes the other side. But the half-time score of 16-10 to the Exiles has given England plenty to think about. David Hodgson got the opening try for the Exiles in the... Brett Hodgson got the opening try for the Exiles in the 5th minute of the match. He converted it himself. Atkins scored a length of the field try for England, levelled things up after